anyway, with Joshua from the Minimalists, Joshua's a great guy, and he, for whatever reason, a few years ago was also living in Missoula, Montana. Him and Ryan, his friend and business partner, they run the Minimalists together. They were in Montana, living here. And I used to just see him at the coffee shop all the time, like the same coffee shop I went to. And he didn't know who I was. And, I know who he was because of the podcast and the movie and all that kind of stuff. And I had liked his writing and I thought it was great. And so I told him that one time, just when we were in line getting coffee. And I said, I'm a writer also. And I just, I know how difficult it is to put creative things out there. And I just think you're doing great work. And he said, oh, thanks, man. And then, that was it. And then later on, I went back up to the counter and I bought I think it was like a $50 coffee card. And I just gave them the money. They gave me the coffee card. And then I said, hey, the next time he comes in, can you just give this to Josh and just let him know it's from me. And I think I wrote a note like, hey, like, hope this fuels your writing sessions or whatever. And I left my name and my email address. And so he emailed me. A couple days later, we went out for lunch or whatever. And then that actually started a genuine friendship, because then we got to see that we're doing kind of similar work and we know some of the same people. And, so now I've gone to LA where he lives now a couple of times, and I consider him a good friend. And, so that's a bit of an odd story though, about like someone that I've met as a friend. I have friends now who don't, I have friends now that aren't in the public sphere.
Right.
What's that? Sorry.
Well, I think the starting point don't matter so much. And for me, the reason why I picked that story is to show how much of things people are doing wrong, actually, when you do want to make friends. And I thought that the story is just interesting. The coffee cup doesn't matter, right? It is, instead of like, say, for example, hey, Nate, I want to meet you, and fanboying, you say, hey, Nate, I actually want to pay you for your time, because I respect your time.
Yeah.
And right. And then go and be serious and ask some questions that are actually why you want to meet them. And what's the point of just going up and I'm just gonna be here and take some photos, Nate.
Yeah. Well, and what people get the wrong idea too is what they want to do is, like, if you ever go to a conference, and I'm come from the fitness industry, so I'll use that as an example, but you can probably relate this to any industry and any kind of conference. But back in the day when I go to a fitness conference, and now I've been this person now too, like, you get done speaking and then people like line up to like want to talk to you, which is awesome. It's very ego gratifying. But what tends to happen is that like everyone just has questions for the person that just got off a stage or whatever, and they want advice, but like, who are you in that moment to ask for something from them? They just gave you their time by being up on stage and sharing their work and their experience with you. So who are you to ask for something without giving them anything in advance? And that's why, this is just I forget the name of the book now. Maybe it's called Persuasion. Shit. I'll think about it. What is it?
Robert Cialdini. Or maybe How to Make Friends and Influence People.
It's called Influence. Yeah. Okay. And it's just a basic principle. You give something and then you can ask for something. And not that you deserve to get something in return. You can give a gift and you cannot have any strings attached to that gift, whether that gift is a compliment or a physical object. But that's how it should start. And when I think the point that you made is wonderful. Like, there are lots of times where I've met people. This meditation teacher I'm working with now, his name is Locke Kelly, and he's a great guy, and he's popular in the meditation non-dual circles. And I wanted to learn from him, and I'd read his books and I'd listened to some of his audio, and I just emailed him and asked if I could pay for an hour of his time. And him and I wouldn't even say we're friends. I would say he's a mentor and a kind of teacher to me now. And he doesn't teach me for free. I still pay him, but now I have access to him, and I don't know where that's going to lead. but I'm very happy to pay for his time right now because that's what got me on his radar. And I mean, ultimately, I want him to have a good experience of me, and maybe I have things I can help him with. I'm helping him out with some marketing right now, for instance, and that's how you build a true connection, though, is you meet people as equals, and you, like you said, you pay for their time or you give them a gift or whatever, and then and only then are you allowed to ask for something, but you may not even get what you ask for, and so then you have to be totally okay with that happening too.
Yeah. I'm curious to know what are your criterias for your friends these days?
Oh yeah, criteria.